Hello, everybody. It is your favorite Mighty Penguin here. And today, do I have a treat for all of you. Markiplier recently made a video on his thoughts about gun control. I, you know, as you do, hoped that maybe we would have agreeing ideas. However, I got about 2 minutes into the video and realized that it was gonna be not so fun for me. Now, because I'm not stupid, I did watch the entire video to make sure I didn't miss anything, but overall, I have a lot of disagreements with him, and I'd like to discuss them all today. I'm not saying I don't like him anymore. He's still a great YouTuber and a really funny guy, and I would love to actually debate him on this were he to ever see this video. But I do think he should reconsider his stances on some of these things. So, you can join me through this experience of watching this video. I've already watched it, but maybe you haven't, so let's start the video.
Hey guys, I wanted to make a video that's a little out of the norm from what I usually do. This is in relation to the Stoneman Douglas shootings, and first and foremost, I have to say that I'm incredibly proud of the way the kids have been handling themselves, how they've been demonstrating all across the country in the organization of marches and talks with people in political spheres.
I wouldn't exactly say I'm proud of them, but at least they're exercising their First Amendment right to protest and make their feelings heard.
And usually I stay out of anything that has to do with politics or religion or anything of the above. But in this particular case, I felt I needed to say something because some of my fans have been affected by this. And some of my fans are out there demonstrating about this. And I wanted to say something because I don't feel it's right that kids have to be the ones on the front lines of this fight. And I wanted to throw in my support and give my thoughts on the matter for whatever that may be worth.
I could have left this part out, but I wanted to take this opportunity to say that I am totally understanding of why he posted this video, and I'm not saying he's wrong for posting it. He is completely okay for that, and I understand why he made the video. I just want to talk about some of the things that he said.
But to give you a background, I have an extensive background and experience with guns. My father was a 24-year Army man. He was a
I'm just gonna cut the clip off there. Anybody who makes anti-gun claims always says they're experienced. I personally respect Mark, and I definitely think that he is knowledgeable, and he probably was taught by his father, like he says in the video, but he just doesn't quite understand what he's saying at this point.
So when I say these things, just know that it's not coming from a place of ignorance. And first and foremost, I want to say that I don't think people should be able to access assault rifles.
Now, when I first watched this, I was still holding out hope up until this point. As soon as I got here, I realized that this was not going to be good. So, in response to that, I'd like to just ask what your definition of an assault rifle is. Because if you're talking an AR-15, say, AR doesn't stand for assault rifle. It stands for Armalite rifle. It's just an unfortunate abbreviation for that company's name. And I just need to know what your definition of an assault rifle is, because the Ruger Mini 14 can do the exact same thing as an AR-15. It's just made with a wood body. So you really need to elaborate here if you're going to make these kind of bold claims.
There's no beating around the bush. There's no kidding about it. There's no exaggerations. Assault rifles exist solely to kill people. And you could say the same thing about all guns, but assault rifles especially, they don't have any purpose in hunting.
He's definitely right in that I'm going to say that about all guns. They are designed to kill, not specifically people, but they are designed to kill, and that's the point of guns. If you're going hunting, you want a gun that's going to kill what you're shooting at, not wound it. There is nothing inherently special about assault rifles in the killing department. The AR-15, which the media commonly refers to as the weapon of choice for mass shooters, is a 223 caliber. That caliber bullet is the same as is fired out of varmint guns that people use to shoot little groundhogs. It's not an extremely high power bullet. The only difference is that the gun looks a little bit different than maybe some people are used to or would like to look at.
They have a purpose in self defense only to the point where they can kill multiple people with a lot of bullets in a very large magazine.
Why should that matter? Are you saying that if multiple intruders come into our house, we shouldn't be able to take them all out? Because if you are, I highly disagree with that statement, but you're lucky I give you the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that's what you're trying to infer here.
And I know I'm going out on a limb and just saying this outright, but I'm 100% in the field that we need to ban assault rifles.
This is a common theme I see with anti-gun people. They tend to go the route of, we only need to ban assault rifles. But they don't seem to understand that if you ban assault rifles, you're just opening the door to ban more and more guns until we have none left. And like I said before, you need to define assault rifle, because assault rifle is not a government-defined term or a legally defined term. It was created by the media to describe weapons like the M16, which, by the way, the AR-15 is not. The military doesn't even use the AR-15.
And I know that people will say that gun control laws are not the thing that can change this, or at least they'll say that it's not the only thing that can change this. But in my mind, why not do everything in our power to try to protect our kids, or our people, or our fellow countrymen, or our neighbors?
Because, surprise, surprise, taking guns from the people who are trying to defend themselves does not take them away from the people who are trying to do harm to others. So, in your attempts to help people, you are just making them defenseless to attacks from other people. Because last time I checked, criminals don't check the gun laws before they go out and try and kill somebody.
And in the avenue of trying to attack this from both sides, why don't we stop stigmatizing mental health? Why don't we stop treating it like some sort of problem that people just need to bear alone? That should be the first and foremost of everything, not just in these, but in general, because
I am going to cut this next bit out, not because I don't agree with him, but just because I want to cut down on the video time a little bit. Basically, he goes on to say that if you need help, you should go and get it. And that is 100% true, and don't think I don't agree with him, because I do. He is 100% right on that, but that's not the point of this video. This video was made about gun control, and so that's what we're going to talk about.
and also, why do we require more licensing and registration for cars than we do for guns?
We don't. That's just not true. Any person who's gone through both will tell you that that's not true. I don't know what the laws are in your state. Maybe they're different there, but you have to go through an extensive background check to even purchase a firearm. Anywhere you go. Steven Crowder did a great video on this. He tried to go to different stores and gun shows and purchase guns without a background check, and he could not get anybody to sell him a gun without doing a background check. So, you actually need more time and effort and licensing to carry a firearm. And especially if you're going to concealed carry it, because then you need an extra permit on top of the background check. If you're just going to keep it in your house, obviously you don't need that sort of licensing, but you shouldn't, because it's your right to protect yourself when you're at home. And not even just at home. You should have the right to protect yourself everywhere. And right now we do, and that's great. So, also, sorry about that last clip. Some sort of audio issue. I can't fix it, so sorry about that.
I know that people abide very closely by the Second Amendment, and me as a proud American, I'm very proud of our Constitution, but at the same time, there has to be some measure of control.
No, no, there doesn't. And there shouldn't be, because our right to protect ourselves as American citizens should not be the government's affair. It should be our own. Obviously, with the police force, we do need help sometimes, and that's okay that we have the police force for that, but they don't have an instant response time. So, in the time that it takes them to get there, we could already be dead.
I know that people want to be able to bear arms, and I respect that. I come from a family that was all about that, but that doesn't mean that we can't have some measure of control over these extremely dangerous tools.
I believe that if you really truly respected that, you wouldn't have said some of the things that you did in this video. There should be no control over what we as Americans have as a right to protect ourselves, because all guns are inherently dangerous in the wrong hands. Banning one specific type or category is not going to stop people from using the rest. Like I mentioned before, the Ruger Mini 14 doesn't look like an assault rifle, but it does the exact same thing and uses the exact same caliber bullet. So you can't just ban one category. If you're going to ban them, you have to ban them all, and that is bad.
In the end, people will say that I'm spouting ignorance or that I don't know what I'm talking about or that I'm saying things that are wrong, and that is fine.
Well, I'm glad that you're accepting other people's opinions on your thoughts. And I'm not saying that you are ignorant or anything like that. I'm just saying you don't quite understand the situation correctly.
But right now, the only thing that I can think of is why shouldn't we be doing absolutely everything in our power to help?
Well, just like I said before, it won't help. That's why we're not doing it.
Now is not the time for talk. Now is not the time for empty promises. Now is the time to do something.
The gun community has been trying to do something for a long time. If you actively followed it, you would know that.
For the people that are suffering most from this. And I want to end this by saying that these kids that are out demonstrating, they are an inspiration. An absolute inspiration, not just to me, but to everybody watching across the country. And if you're watching this and you are out there demonstrating or you're organizing marches or you're talking to the people who are supposedly in power of these decisions, keep it up. Because the world is listening. The country is listening. People will try to ignore you and people will try to dismiss your opinion, but you are the future of this country. And you are the future of the world, and your actions dictate what our future will be. So don't give up the fight. Stay strong. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Well, like I did say, I am glad that these kids understand their First Amendment right and are utilizing it. And it's true that their actions will affect the future if they are heard. But I think that they won't be. And I'm sure that you may disagree, but anybody who thinks about it enough and is understanding of the issues would see that removing guns is not going to solve anything. So, overall, if you want to debate me, Mark, you can watch this video and come back with something and, we'll have a bit of a chat. And as for anybody that's watching, if you want to see more of this sort of stuff, you can like and comment below. You can subscribe, do all that cool jazz. So, thanks guys. See you next time.